Hi, welcome to my garden. Today is August 1st. We're going to start our 5-day August planting challenge. We kind of jumped the gun yesterday, put a little squash in, but we're going to remedy that today. Be surprised what we can plant in August. The list is extensive. And right now, the biggest spot I have to plant in is right here in the old coal frame. Let's go ahead and pull some mulch back and get a couple things in the ground. We've got a round of corn going, but one of the things we still have time for is more corn. And the one thing about a fall garden, you want to plant stuff you want to eat. So I'm just going to pull this mulch back. And this is beautiful underneath here. Like with everything else, we just take that right on down to bare soil. I believe you really only want to plant what you want to eat. That corn we picked yesterday was so delightful. We're going to go ahead and put in another round of corn. We planted this late last year and we had really good success. So I'm pretty confident I'm going to plant it all. And you see how damp this is? And it was 104 degrees today. Heat index way up there. I let it cool off to 100 degrees right now. Here's the thing. Garden waits for no person. And this deep mulch is no joke. So I'm pretty confident we'll be just fine. Thing is, you got to get out in it, and you got to do it. So I'm just making good soil contact. Then I'm just going to lightly cover that. I'll make another row right next to it. I'm planting pretty heavy. I realize that. We'll see what our germination rate is. Even though we put down slug bait, we're doing other precautions. There's still critters out here, and they all like to eat what we like to eat. Then I'm going to do a little row off over on this side. Use the rest of these. Okay, and then between these, we're going to do a mini Three Sisters. Don't tell my wife. I've already planted a bunch of these, but I'm going to plant a couple more. I'm just going to put a couple squash right down the center. We'll see what we get there. And then we still have time for beans. I'm going to plant bush beans in here. I think the traditional Three Sisters, you got corn which grows tall and acts as a trellis for the beans. The beans climb up on the corn, but I found that the beans will pull the corn down, and then the squash kind of shades the ground. And I think that worked just fine. But what we're going to do, and we still have plenty of time, and if for some reason we get a frost before these produce, they are nitrogen fixers after all, and that'll be good for everything out here. I'm just kind of having fun and randomly placing these. And I probably got them way too close together. And if you've been following my channel, you know that's how I like to plant. Okay, so we've got 3 of the many things you can plant in August. Squash, beans, and corn right here. And then like with everything else, we want to put just a light little layer of mulch on this. As nice and moist as this is under here, I don't want to lose all that moisture. We've got just a few more days of this heat, and then we should be okay. But that's really light and airy. That's very thin. Another thing that you can plant in August is kale. But our kale reseeded itself. And here's another thing that's on the list, Swiss chard. It's reseeded itself. So if you let some of your stuff go to seed, it takes care of it for you. We have 2 other plants on the August list. One is arugula, and that's got a really nice peppery taste. You either really like it or you really don't. We really like it. And the other one is radishes. Now our radishes, we just leave those go to seed. They've been reseeding themselves for 3 years now. As far as our summer squash goes, this is round 2. We still have some squash bugs out here, but we don't have to worry about the vine borers on this one. And the ones we just planted, we shouldn't have to even worry about the squash bugs. And we got our cucumbers, which we planted in late July. We can also plant those again in August. Now, I'm not going to give you my entire list because this is just day 1 of the 5 days. I hope you join me for the rest of them. I know, why would we plant beans in August when we got beans growing everywhere? Because they taste great. Like I said, you want to plant what you want to eat. So out of this list, I'm sure we're going to find a few things that you'll like. And you can do this too. It's not too late to get a garden going this year. If you want to learn more about the deep mulch, click that link right there and I'll meet you back in the garden. If you want to learn about the living soil, click that link right there and I'll meet you back in the garden. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.